Friends, this is a series number 7, I think, and this series is made with the purpose that GST is so huge subject and it's so easy. Once you go through it, it becomes easy for you. Okay, and tell me, I'm going through it. Okay. So please visit the blog Nitin Pathak blogspot.com, and you can subscribe to YouTube channel, which is available on blog, from where you can collect the data. All the presentation are available there. My WhatsApp number is there. If you have any query regarding GST, you can come and contact me. I'll guide you for that. My address is that GST High Court Supreme Court judgment we are taking. I have taken procedural aspect, block credit, ITC, attachment, and property. Now I am going through the next presentation on this thing. But before coming to that, I'll give one slide a note. This is sequence X. Next Saturday, it would be on 13th Saturday. Same sequel will continue. This is a modern instruction judgment on which this is on the basis of DRC 3, DRC 4, section 73, 74. These are the three points which are covered. These judgments says 3 points. DRC, when you pay the thing, DRC 4 needs to be issued. DRC 4 is not issued. Then procedural aspect is not followed. Number 1, this section covers in these slides. We have covered the process flow chart. Process is like this for the pre-SCN stage, SCN stage, and order stage. And there are suppression of fact and non-suppression of fact. These are the way DRC 1A is to issue, DRC 1B is to be issued, DRC 1A Part B is to be issued, DRC 1, DRC 2, these are to be filed, and the payment is to be made. These are rules which I have explained in these slides. So on the basis of which you will be able to conclude what is the penalty. These are covered. 73, 74, because I'm not going to discuss this because the modern insecticide is not my question today. But these are the section we have covered. Rule 142 is also very important. On the basis of this, the Bhumi judgment was also created. In this case, raid was conducted twice, and he was asked to pay, and ITC was reversed. But because they have not followed the 73, 74, notice DRC 4 was not issued. Hence, the payment needs to be made back, and the fresh case can be issued. And from the date the ITC is reversed, 6% interest, the payment made by them is to be payable to this, payable by the department. 6% interest is paid. This is called modern insecticide. The huge judgment, if you can download 153textmen.com from the website. So this explain modern insecticide is covered. Now this is about ITC. ITC is like input tax credit, business purpose, non-business purpose, taxable, zero rate, and exempt supply. So the taxable plus zero plus this thing is equal to the proportionately is allowed. This is claim 100%. These are block credit things. I'm not covering this. I'm just going fast. This is a slide on works contract. So works contract is a contract when it is related to construction, and those who are ultimate beneficiaries of property, for him it is a block credit. For rest, it would be entitled for ITC. This is the judgment, a portion of credit which is covered, block credit, supply of services. 150 textmen.com 75. Here schedule 2, schedule 3 is explained, and is why it is covered. Chotolal versus Universal. Attachment, what is the attachment, why attachment is should be did, what are the conditions, it should be temporary. Whole rule is explained here. for the purpose of attachment of this property. I'm not going to cover this right now. Okay. एक second. Can you send mobile? Chotulal, I've covered here. 83 provisional attachment, 122, 1A. These are the condition on which the attachment can be made. These are the tax evasion made by you or somebody else would be taken into consideration before the block credit is done. Okay, block credit is covered here. Chotulal, supply of any goods or services without issue of invoice. You receive the good, but invoice is not issued. Invoice is issued, but bill is not delivered. Utilize ITC where actual goods are not received, and distribution of property, including Section 20. And these are covered by a person who receives the benefit. So in case of a attachment of a bank account, you cannot attach the bank account of all. Provisional attachment of the property. So the DRC 22, DRC 23, it should be DRC 22A, DRC 23 should be released. Rohit Enterprise, in this case, if anybody has cancellation of number, he can apply for it as per Constitution. This is a fundamental right of anyone to do business. So High Court says that anyone at any time can come and have the cancellation of, if cancel is, then he have a right to the business, he can ask for it. The penalty, whatever he should be paid. So this is a right of a business, right of a livelihood. Article 226, the petitioner must be allowed to continue business and continue to contribute to the state of a revenue. Rohit and our premier sales organization. This is regarding coupon, which I've already covered. Gift voucher, cash voucher, e-vouchers are not coming under the definition of goods. Hence, it is not covered. Money is excluded as this thing, which I'm not going. Previous sales, I'm not going. LWG. Petitioner agreed by the impact notice by reason concerned not allowed who are the purchase of goods question refusing to grant benefit for input credit. So what are the conditions for input credit? Is there are three things you need to consider. This is an example I've given. ABC supply goods to NMP. ABC files GRT 1, file and paid tax on GST 3. NMP claims GST. So ABC supplies to NMP. ABC filed GSTR 1, paid goods. NMP claimed GST 3B and paid on the tax of the bill and paid accordingly. ABC sold goods to NMP on Q1. GSTR number was cancelled on Q4 2020 retrospectively, but NMP cannot be denied ITC even though ABC number is cancelled. All transactions related to purchase bill, e-way bill, goods received, including truck number, goods received, payment done, as well as the NMP is sold to someone else and continue movement. In this case, ITC is always entitled for. ITC reversal before 30th September, 30th November, I'm not going into take. In case you don't make a payment also, then also you need to reverse the ITC. As soon as you make the payment or he makes the payment, you are entitled for ITC. This is, I'm not covering in this slide. NWG versus of India. I have covered Amit Kaushik. This is a case in which the bail is a fundamental right as per this thing. This is the section 69, power to arrest, power to give release, 2 crore, less than 2 crore, 2 crore to 5 crore, 5 crore and more. In this case, these are the rights of this thing. Radiant Enterprise, this is already covered because in this case, Sumoto raised by the. So there was some, what is the contention here? Once you file an appeal, you cannot be put to a disadvantage than what you are at the time of assessment. This is what is covered here. In the appellate, two issues are involved. I'm not going to ready because suo moto you cannot do it. Radiant database says that when you file an appeal at AA level or at level, you cannot be put at a more taxable rate than what you ask for. Okay. Only thing the judgment can be against you, but no matter can be added. Cross application is not permitted as per GST. Otherwise, Chandni and Craft versus Rajasthan. Here they say that in this case, Chandni Craft, the assessment order was passed by the AO exactly in the same manner what is said. He did not go into that, but he has not read the provision. Hence, Rajasthan High Court has dismissed the petition. So at the time of appellate should go to the facts, understand it, and pass the order. But here they pass order. Hence the order was released. GST RFD 8, 9, GFT 6 needs to be filed. I'm not going to Chandigarh. I'm just covering the last. Varun Beverage. Here in this case, there was only one mistake in truck number. There was no intention to defraud the government because it is a transfer from go down transfer. Hence, detention order was deleted and no penalty was levied. Penalty under section 129(3). This is the Varun Beverage. Parity Infotech. This is a case in which department has not issued SCN properly. Now, from this here, I am starting this new case law. Okay. Now I am into this Parity Infotech versus 1 minute. Let me. SCN was quashed. The Parity Infotech solution asked for SCN to be quashed. Order dated 31st March, 30th March 22 under Section 70 GST. They have issued a notice on the basis of information received from Department of Trade Taxes, branch government of NCT. ITC blocked for more than 1 year. Order was reversed, blocking it without tangible material and justifiable reason. Hence, respondent block ITC on the basis of communication received from 24th July on the basis of information received from Joint Commissioner, GST West Commissioner, a tax value of 1.7 crore, IT total tax 27.80 crore. It was reversed. Respondent has no authority to investigate the petitioner because the jurisdiction officer has a right to do this thing. GST officer, this GST commissioner has no right. ITC was blocked, but no information of ITC was blocked, but no information of fake invoice, solely on the basis of instruction from director. No tangible material violation of Rule 286A. Respondent has mechanically reproduced Section 74 without any tangible material. ITC was kept blocked beyond statutory period of 1 year. SCN was mechanical. In all cases, the respondent had no independent opinion on these things. Thus, the order of SC High Court is rendered. High Court blocking ITC merely on the basis of communication another authority that same was availed on the strength of fake invoices was not sustainable when GST authority blocked the ITC. It should have issued the so-called notices and no tangible material to form the belief was given. So what they should have done, this is a party which is coming under block credit, and they should have given, these are the invoices which you have raised, this bill is not coming into your stock. For this, you have not sold the goods. There are certain materials because the party itself considers that this is a bogus billing. These are the tangible material you need to provide to the parity infotech. Then only you can delete. And for that, there are in this there is a procedure pre-SCN stage, SCN stage, and order stage. Pre-SCN stage, there is DRC 1A notice in Form A should be given, DRC 3 should be issued, DRC 4. There is part A, DRC 01A, part B. So these are the procedure you need to follow under Section 73, read with 74. So the procedure for pre-SCN stage, SCN stage, and order stage needs to be followed. Here, none of the three is not compliant. Hence, the order is likely to be rejected. Instruction dated 8/3/2022. Department declared invalid exam on the issue of so notice mechanically. They have not given the details which I've informed to you. To create a demand, an appropriate block of ITC, such demand notwithstanding 1 year already passed. They have blocked the credit, but they have never reversed. SCN under Section 74 of CGST should be issued only if proper officer had formed a prima facie opinion that tax has not been paid or short paid or invoice refunded or IT has been wrongly availed or utilized. So what they're saying, tax not paid, short paid, invoice refund, IT has been wrongly availed, utilized by reason of fraud or willful misstatement or suppression of fact. Decision render interpreting expression of reason to believe. But they're saying under Income Tax Act, there is a reason to believe is the main clause which was under Section 147. So same is applied here. And our relevant provision of Rules 86 of CGST should be applied. Clear? Yes, now? Parity I've discussed because SCN is important. Reason to believe is important. That's why whole ITC credit need to be reversed with interest. In Hindustan Aluminum, this is another case. The petitioner has challenged the impugned order dated 4th January 2023 passed under Section 74 of TGST Act. The petitioner has challenged the impugned order. There is a total non-application of mine. To rely on the reply sent by the petitioner, the impugned order has been passed. The so-called notice dated 22nd 11 and the petitioner was directed to reply on the next day. The petitioner also sent the reply on the same day requesting the respondent had further time to submit the reply. Time was given too short. The reply dated 8th December submitted by the petitioner has not been considered by the respondent under the impugned order. They have not considered the reply which is sent to you. So, whenever there is an order, you need to see that there is a justice made to you. Whatever you reply, your reply should be considered. Here the time period was considered short. And even if the reply was not considered, the SCN was barred and corrupted. The SCN issued to the response, it does not inform the petitioner about the details of violation committed by them as per the provisions of Section 74 of TGST Act. Instead of the respondent has simply extracted the ingredients of Section 74 and issued SCN. Under the impugned order passed under Section 74 of the TGST Act, the petitioner had levied with penalty Section 74, no penalty. And the Section 74, 75 is a penalty because here there is no misrepresentation. And the penalty, there is a limit. 73, no penalty. 74, there is a penalty. 15, 25, 50, and 100. Before SCN, before issue of notice, SCN order, and after 30 days of order. 15, 30, 15, 25, 50, and 100. So this is slide already covered here. but I'm throwing. In this case, they have levied a penalty which is not as per the penalty provision. Hence, the whole order is passed. Under the impugned order passed under Section 74 of the TNGC Act, the petitioner has been levied with penalty for claiming input tax credit based on the Google tax invoices and debit note. The learned counsel of the petitioner drew the attention of the court to the relevant document filed in support of the aforesaid contention. On perusal of the same, this court is of the considered view that the grounds raised by the petitioner stating that the petitioner has not been granted the sufficient opportunity to send the reply to the SCN, which is dated 22nd November 2022, has to be accepted. The petitioner was not granted sufficient opportunity. What are the reasons why in the iliminum order was rejected of Assistant by Madras High Court? Petitioner was not granted sufficient opportunity to send the reply to SCM, though petitioner requested for time. There was total non-application of mind. In passing the impugned order, where SCN had simply extracted the ingredients of Section 74 of the CGST Act, but the same did not disclose the violation committed by the petitioner. Are you clear? Time nahi diya, officer ne application of mind nahi diya, not disclose what are the violations to be made, and the case was reverted back to that. What I said, if he has to give an ITC, suppose he give an example, my ITC of XYZ party for the period khali jagah to khali jagah, and these are the invoices on which you are likely to be notice, pre-notice, notice to be replied 01A, 01AA, 01AB, 73, 74, read with Rule 142. On the basis of this is not provided, hence the order was rejected and sent for remand in the William. Getting clear? Application of mind as it needs to be reason to believe. As under Section 147. SKP Pharma. GST number applied by the property concerned having a composite scheme under 26 December. This person is filing a return under Section 70 under this section. GST applied by the petitioner, property concerned having composite scheme under 26 December 2021. In March 21, he got an export order. So he applied for LUT. Okay? And he issued the bill. Okay? Once you issue the bill, you are coming out of composition scheme. But what is the puzzle between here? He applied few days late, and there was no provision in GST portal to delete from block to this thing. The case is SK Pharma is on the basis of this thing. March 22, he got an export order. LUT applied. On 8th April 2020, he applied for retrospective cancellation of composition scheme while filing return for the month of March. On 12th May, the SSC raised the grievances with GST helpdesk for filing return. On 6th June 2020, he received a reply with that respective withdrawal of composition is not possible. He has applied, AO rejected. On 16th June, the SSC applied jurisdiction officer for withdrawal of composition with effect from March 22. AO issued a notice for not filing return. On 29th June, AO cited technical impossibility. What is technical impossibility? GST portal has some technical issue. Government says, law says it is not possible. Your technical impossibility does not affect the law. SSC filed a petition before High Court remedial action for cancellation of composition with retrospect. For your kind perusal, Rule 6 of CGST is referred as the validity of composition. When I am applied for composition scheme, the options to be accessed by a registered person. I am under register. I am under, say, SSC is under, taxpayer is under a composition scheme. The option accessed by registered person to pay the tax under Section 12 shall remain so long as he satisfies all the conditions mentioned in the same section. The person referred to in sub rule 1 shall be liable to pay tax under subsection 1 of section of the form from the day he ceases to satisfy any condition mentioned in section 12. Here, what he has done, he has issued a bill with GST. So under section 10, he is now no more eligible under rule 6, section 10, or the provision of this chapter, and shall issue tax invoice for every taxable supply made thereafter. And he shall also file an intimation for withdrawal from the scheme in form GST CMP 4 within 7 days of the occurrence of such event. Here, the taxpayer cannot be denied cancellation of registration under common with retrospective. Taxpayer cannot be denied cancellation with retrospective mainly on the ground of portal does not provide the same. Department should fix the glitch on GST portal. Refer section 10. So whenever there is a glitch in the portal, you should not be worried about glitch. It's their issue. You need to do what you need to do. Section 10 of CGST, Rule 6 of CGST. I'm into 151 taxman.com 112 on Double High Court. Narjuna Agro Limited. Short question which was read in the present petition is to whether the department is entitled to issue a notice under section 61(3) of CGST once the return has been submitted by the SSA before initiating action under section 74. Now, what is the question? They have not gone into the section scheme 61. They have directly gone into section 74. Is this allowed? Is the question. Answer is yes. Yes. Department need not follow 61. They can directly go to 61. The petitioner is an SSE under GST regime has survey return for the assessment is 1718. The department apparently has not initiated any action referable under section 61. It transfers that the proceeding under section 74 have been initiated by the department against the petitioner on certain ground with regard to classification and consequential tax payable of certain goods. The department has examined the issue and ultimately passed the order whereby the tax previously paid was found to be short and a demand has been raised for deposit of appropriate refund. Learned counsel of the petitioner submit that since the return will be submitted by the petitioner for the period in question, therefore the appropriate course of open for the department was to have pointed out the deficit in the return submitted by the petitioner so as to give opportunity to rectify before issuing section 74. They have relied on Vedible Pyrotech Private Limited versus Assistant Commissioner 144 Taxman 179. Section 61 is there under which I'm reading for the purpose of section 61 of the read says that the proper officer scrutinizes the notice, issues the notice. Okay, on the basis of that, the SSA taxpayer accepts it, or taxpayer gives the time and gives it. Once taxpayer accepts it, no problem. Taxpayer does not accept or accept and pays, there is no issue. 61(3) would be applied. Yeah. For the purpose of brevity, here they have issued. I'm reading subsection 3. Let me read the whole section. The proper officer may scrutinize the return and related particular furnished by the registered person to verify the correctness of the return informed to the discrimination notice. A proper officer scrutinizes the return and find the discrepancy is may prescribe, seek an explanation thereto. He can ask for the explanation. If the explanation is found to be accepted by the registered person, shall be informed accordingly, no further action. If registered person accept it and pay the tax, no further action. In case no satisfaction is furnished within a period of 30 days of being informed by the person, or such period as may be permitted, he can give more than 30 days. Or by the registered person accepting the discrepancy, fail to make corrective measures. Either pays it or reverse it, whatever action you need to make. Measure in his return for the month in which the discrepancy is accepted. Suppose he accepts in the month of 30th March, he should complete it by 31st March. or he is accepted in 1st March, then he is on 31st March. Failed to take corrective action in his return for the month in which the receipt is accepted, the proper official may initiate appropriate action, including the Section 65, 66, 67, and proceed to determine under Section 73, 74. What law says? They should not follow the 61 and then go to 73, 74. They can directly go to 73, 74. This is the judgment here. 65, audit by tax authority. 66, special audit. Power of inspection, search and seizure. The determination of tax not paid without any misstatement or fraud with the intention to fraud. Okay. In case of 74, with the intention to fraud. Either tax not paid, short paid, erroneously refunded, ITC wrongly claimed or utilized. Okay. One is with intention of fraud, willful misstatement and suppression. 73 without that. In our view, merely because no notice were issued under Section 71, 61 of the Act would mean that the issue of classification or short payment of tax cannot be dealt under Section 74 as exercise of such power is not dependent upon the issuance of notice. The argument is misconceived. Clear? This is an argument. Narjuna agrochemical. That is very, very simple and short question. But still, I will explain you. In the meantime, you will be able to understand the whole thing also. Okay. Now I am into merely this thing. Narjuna is over. Now I am into Vedanta. In Vedanta, they have asked for the refund. Refund was given. Now there is no once you have taken 1 cent, Vedanta says once the refund has been issued on the basis of one concept, it cannot be given on another concept. That is what the judgment is. Let me give the explanation of the same. Supplementary refund claim based on unit-wise transaction was not maintainable when refund granted was based on a consolidated figure and multiple units were registered under a common GST and considered to be a single registered person. Supplementary refund claim based on unit-wise transaction was not maintainable when refund granted based on consolidated figure. What Vedanta has said, they have asked for the refund on the basis of consolidated figure, having one PAN number, and hence multiple units were there, and refund was granted. Now they want, if they ask for unit wise, they were entitled for more refund, and they short the refund, but rejected. Then again it goes to High Court. Orissa High Court says you are not entitled for. Referred supplementary refund. Consolidated claim of refund of unutilized ITC in relation to 3 units were registered with common GST and was submitted. It was granted. The unit-wise quantum of refund was much more than compared to all units. Application for grant of supplementary refund was submitted manually. Supplementary was refunded on the ground that all the units were registered under a common GST number, as a result of which refund cannot be claimed unit-wise. Circular was referred, circular number 124/44/2019. Do not envisage filing of supplementary refund application, particularly when different stance was taken at the time of filing original refund. Once you file the original refund, it's been granted, you cannot change the stand from consolidated to unit-wise. Where the refund originally was granted considering all units together and same was accepted, the application for supplementary refund could not be entered and challenge to the state circular to the effect of that manual refund was not allowed was also not sustainable. Referring section 124, sections 54, rule 89, 89.4, and it's not ultra-wealth of the law. This is Vedanta. Now I'm into Orient Red versus DCID, the Deputy Commissioner of Commercial Tax, audit 3 and 4. This is when GST portal was started. There was a mismatch in 3 and 2B. It was denied. There was a portal mistake. They said that there is a portal issue. You resolve it. But when the department is not at loss, let the correction be made. Okay. This is the crux of the issue. I'm not going into much of this because once the conclusion is that any mismatch can be corrected later on, oriented. I'm not going into the detail. In case of technical, the correction may be allowed to be carried out manually or physically. You cannot come and say that my portal does not allow me, my software does not allow me this thing. Okay. This is one of the main things which I want to cover. Rule 37. Let me read through 37 because it's very practical and day to day. Okay. So there are two ways ITC need to be reversed. Once you purchase the goods and you did not make a payment in 180 days. If you do not make a payment for purchase account debited, GST account debited to party, and you do not make payment, reverse it. Once you make the payment, just use it. Sometimes your ITC is not shown in ITC portal. So you reverse it before 30th September. You not it the 30th November, December, before due date of filing return. Once that is shown in the auto populator, you just reclaim it. This is what the Rule 37 says, which I said in three condition ITC. Auto populator में नहीं दिखाता है, just reverse it. Now I'm reading for the purpose of brevity, but I have already covered in my talk. A reversal in case of non-payment of tax by the supplier or in reavailment thereof, where the ITC has been availed by registered person in the return and GST or 3B for a tax period in respect with such invoice or debit note, the details of which have been furnished by the supplier. When supplier has he has shown in the return but not paid at the time of filing return, it need to be reversed. When ITC has been availed by the registered person, the return of in the form of GST or 3B for a tax period in respect of such invoice or debit note, the details of which have been furnished by the supplier in the statement of outward supply of GST 1 or using the invoice furnishing a facility that the return in GST 3B for the tax period corresponding the statement or outward supply has not been furnished by such supplier till 30th September following the end of the financial year, the input tax credit in respect of such invoice paid. So he has the outward supply has not been. What is said, the tax period corresponding to the sale of outward supply has not been furnished by such person. Then he has not filed his return 3B. Then you need to reverse before 30. That is coming under auto populated. In the credit has been reversed by the registered person while furnishing 3B on or before 30th November following the end of the financial year. Provided that where the said amount of input credit is not reversed by the registered person in the return of GST 3B on or before 30th day of November, following the end of such financial year during which such input credit was availed, such amount shall be payable by the said person along with the interest under Section 50. Provided further that where the supplier subsequently furnishes GST 3B for the said tax, the register may re-avail the credit. Once it is filed by them, you can claim it even after 2 years also. So this is, I have explained ITC for the purpose of having a clarity that you don't miss that in your return. Now this is the case of 146 taxman 385 Supreme Court. Filling agreement dissatisfied. This is very particular, very typical case. Once you read it, many times you will be in practical life, you can claim and use this for the purpose of this. Filling agreement and dissatisfied with the impugned judgment in order dated 4th February 2020 by the High Court. This is a case against the Punjab High Court. Given the judgment against this, they go to Supreme Court. The point was that when the High Court set aside the order of detention of a goods vehicle on 30th August, issued by the Office of Assistant Commissioner, and also the notice 14th September 2000 issued under Section 130 of CGST, state were preferred present appeals. State of Punjab has preferred appeal. at the so-called notice of the stage, it was premature for the High Court to opine anything whether there was any evasion of tax or not, and the same has to be considered at appropriate proceeding. And the High Court has materially erred in entertaining writ petition against the so-called notice, questioning and set aside. But they're saying so-called notice has to be settled at appropriate authority level only. High Court cannot interfere at the Supreme SCN level. So here the SCN has been prematurely handled, as Supreme Court says rejected. What they are doing, Article 226 of the Constitution has rejected. So many times, these are wonderful judgment. I like it. Now I am into Global Seamless Tube Pipe versus the Assistant Commissioner. Circular number 131-1. Here what has happened? Global Seamless Tube Private Limited was given a risky tag on the basis of some information which they have received. But what the law says, you cannot make it a permanent risky tag. Perpetually putting someone at a risky tag against the Constitution to carry out the business. The petitioner was heard and directed the department to follow the procedure laid down in circular, give personal hearing and decide the tagging. The petitioner was heard and directed. There is a risky expert against the constitutional right of the petitioner was heard and directed the department to follow the procedure laid down in circular, use the person and decide the tagging. You cannot make him a personal suffering forever. High Court has admitted and asked the department to take action within a time frame. Now I am going into Subhash Singh Chaudhary versus State of Jharkhand. This is a transition provision. So I'm not going into detail of that. But what has happened? Then when transition was made, there are different VAT entry tax were merged into this. At the time of merging, certain tax credit was not transferred to GST portal. And court says you cannot, you want to give refund, and here he has to pay. What they say, merge it. So I'm not going to discuss this thing, Subhash said. Across International Private Limited versus Deputy the refund of export of sale with GST for technical this. Here there was a technical which is because of that his refund was not able to give. The matter goes to Gujarat High Court. Now I am giving the explanation. He has claimed three things. In the meantime, his name was changed. Because of name change, 2 was passed, 1 was not passed. Because the refund order was because in the procedure aspect being stuck. They say that issue the refund with interest. And now I am explaining you the case. The petitioner exported goods and refunds were granted 2 out of 3 shipping bills. Department contended that the 3 shipping bills was showing department cancellation by PO for transaction. As per IG's status and refund was not paid by the bank on account of mismatch in the name of the firm. The shipping bills are deemed as refund application when goods are exported with payment of tax, and thus department should have sanctioned 90% of the amount claimed in the said bill. The refund was not granted due to deficiency in GST network. Department was directed to issue refund at the rate of 6%. D. Murli Mohan Patnaik versus government of Orissa. This was a challenge. The order of DC of CC of GST to the petition. Procedure. Produce a document related to stock retention. Vehicle used in generation of e-way bill was bill inward. Outward supply as well as intimation dated 30th March. The tax is at 73.5 including liability. The prayer was that the opposite party should have asked the refund of tax and to allow the petitioner to prefer an appeal on portal against the order. What has been the case? The petitioner is a registered dealer. He is a distributor of Grasim cement. It is stated that 4 vehicles of Grasim were detained by the authority asking for the production of document. Petitioner stated that in para 6 of the present case, in the petitioner stated in para 6 of the present petition, the payment of demanded tax was made in protest and released. He has made a full payment. He has paid. No, yes, once he made the payment. So there are protocol about the DRC file also. Here, that is the case. He has not, the DR Murli Mohan has not followed the procedure by protest, making the protest payment. And hence, he has not protested, now asking for a debt refund. Court says not allowed. No such letter for protest was produced. What was issued the court a written letter by the petitioner dated 6 July 22 disowning the payment of tax and interest. He is not clearly mentioned in the letter at the time of payment or at the time of this thing. Plus, there are forms also provided. Let me go to the rule also. Under Rule 142 1A and 2A of GST, it is open to person against whom a demand is raised to make a partial payment and also file a submission against the proposed liability in Part B of GST 1A. He has not complained after making payment. He has not raised a protest under Part B of GST DRC 1A. For reason best known to him, he did not ask for procedure instead of. He made a full payment of the demand made without protest. Also, till date, actually not registered protest with the department which ought to have been made. Contemplates not known to him. 3 months after making such payment, he has sent a vogue letter that is liability not acceptable in either here nor there. See the petitioner, he has written a vogue letter. The petitioner, he has by his own conduct disable himself from availing the remedy available to him in law. What was the remedy available? Write a letter. What is further provision? Rule 142 1A or 2A. Use Part 1B, Part B of GST DRC 1A. The petitioner has by his own conduct disable himself from availing the remedy. Okay, since there is no material to support the contention of the petitioner that he made the payment of the demand of tax protest, court is not persuaded to accept such submission. None of the relevant of the writ petition was dismissed. What is the things to be understood lesson from here? Follow the process, protest karo, time pay karo, and use literally forms which is prescribed in the law. So you are not above law. You have to just follow the all law which you are supposed to follow. In this case, a TM Metal Trade Incorporation versus this Special Secretary. Petitioner challenges summons and search and seizure on the ground that both central and state government both are issuing the same on the same point issuing the notice. Petitioner says, I have replied in the one law, one state. I need not be issued a notice and I'm not supposed to go there and summons. In this case, petitioner contends that even after a reply to summons, there was no comment in the department regarding, of course, petitioner alleged that threat but daily to personal hearing. He said, I'm worried about, I have a threat that he will again issue a summons. So he has gone prematurely with the Madras High Court. What he's saying, once search and seizure was done, summons are issued, same issue, state government is asking and central government asking. What law says? Don't worry. Go there, give the reply, but court did not interfere with the matter. The petitioner should participate in inquiry with the state government to substantiate that he could not be prosecuted both by state and central severity the same subject matter. State GST authority could not initiate the action against the petitioner in respect of the same subject when central has already taken. So there are 2 points you learn here. When once central has taken a care, you just inform that state has already issued the notice and the matter is concluded. So you cannot issue the same matter again on the same subject. And once they issue the notice, just go and reply. You cannot ask the court that they should not issue the notice. SCL. Writ petition be filed prematurely. Respondent department directed to give one more opportunity to participate in personal hearing. This is a case of TVL Metal Trade Incorporation versus Special Secretary. Clear? Yes, no? Mahajan Fabrics versus Commissioner of CGST. I'll answer the raising hand later on. Okay. Just email me, WhatsApp me, I'll answer Melissa Smith. I cannot respond you right now. Okay. I'll answer you through email, WhatsApp me, I'll take a call. Now I'm here. Margin fabric versus Commissioner of CGST. Input tax credit, proof of receipt of good, vehicle details. Commissioner reviewed the order of original sanctioning the refund and directed to prefer an appeal on the ground that two of the invoices of the sellers in respect to which refund was sought were not reflected in one profit. However, the appellate authority found that the said finding to be incorrect and two vehicles in question were registered with the IVAN. Notwithstanding the above, allow the revenues appeal on the ground that petitioner is not established that the goods have been received by providing the details and other in respect of 124 vehicle. But they're saying, I have given the vehicle number. I have provided all ITC details, but that vehicle was not registered in E1 portal is not a question. Is not mandatory provision in CGST or IGST. Hence, and further, there is no provision required SSC to file the details of all vehicle and also have the registration on E1 portal. Petitioner has disclosed necessary details in the return required for claiming refund, and there's a condition prescribed. And the condition prescribed in Section 60 were satisfied. Thus, the review order to file an appeal against the order in origin itself was founded on erroneous finding. Appellate authority did not find any flaw in details furnished by the petitioner. Having accepted details in invoice furnished by the SSC, appellate authority was required to reject the revenues appeal outrightly, and the order of appeal was set aside. Not saying this is not a part of ITC. The rule doesn't say that your vehicle should be registered in by portal. So margin fabrics, additional condition, which is in the mind of which is not provided in law, need not be followed. Vehicle cannot be due to lack of road permit. This was the case in Assam. There was road permit was required. Once there is the e-way bill invoice is there, e-way permit is not mandatory. Radhe Fragrant versus Union of India, 148 taxman.com 431 Allahabad High Court. Tax and penalty were rightly imposed when huge amount of pan masala. In this case, what pan masala was doing? They were there was three container. There were a lot of container, but three e-way bill. What they were doing, what was the plan? They want to evade the e-way bill. Hence, what they have done, the effects of the case, tax and penalty were rightly imposed with the huge pan masala or tobacco were transported grossly enabling without downloading the mandatory e-way bill. What was the purpose? E-way bill should not be made. Detention of goods and conveyance of invoice under values of 13 cartons. Each of pan was sent to two dealers, while 60 cartons of tobacco were sent to two dealers. Huge amount of pan masala and tobacco transferred grossly enabling without downloading the mandatory. In the grave of technicality, no benefit could be given to dealer who intentionally enabled goods to escape from eyes of law. Further, one of the consignee was not in the business of trading, but doing a business as a work contract and supply of services. Thus, action of statutory in detaining the goods and imposing the penalty need not be interfered. There are two things he has done wrong. One, his main intention was not to prepare a bill. Number one. Number two, even undervaluing, plus he is using someone's GST number who is not into related business. So rather fragrance. So if you do it, court would be heavy on you. This is very wonderful case. This is really prevalent. And this case I've already discussed, but here this is a case in which this is day in, day out they happen. They come at your place asking you to file DRC. They are asking you to reverse your ITC, make some payment. DRC 3 was filed. and ITC was reversal from the laptop of a partner with OTP on his server. In the present case, in the case of Ganesh Polasis, one of the director, DRC is filed for ITC removal from the laptop of a partner with OTP of his son's mobile and it was midnight at 1 p.m. During the search, violating the guidelines of Bhumi Associate versus University of Gujarat High Court, a copy of judgment of Gujarat High Court and this have been used during, you can use it during the search and seizure. And they have issued a guideline as under. No recovery in any mode by check, cash, e-payment or adjustment of ITC should be made at the time of search and inspection under Section 67 of CGST Act or SCSA Act under any circumstances. Even if the SCC comes forward to make the voluntary payment by filing DRC 3, the SS will be asked or advised to file such DRC on the next day after the search is ended and after such officers have left the place. Facility of filing a complaint. What they said, there is a portal should be created. Finding at the end of the search proceeding should be made available to SSC if the SSC was forced to make payment in any mode during the pendency of such proceeding. If the complaint or grievance is filed by the SSC and officer is found to have acted in defiance of the aforesaid action, then strict disciplinary action should be initiated against the concerned officer. What they're saying, these are the law, these are the provision and being accepted by the department. So this doesn't happen again. So this is the one which is taking, I'm taking the last two judgment and then I would leave the forum. Any question I will handle it later on. The refund resolving the order. The refund for the period in case of Brijmohan Mangala versus Union of India, Delhi High Court. The refund for a period from May 19 to December 19 was payable to the SSC as per the order of AA authority. A authority has asked for the refund. Order is that. However, the department withheld the implementation on the ground that department is going to file an appeal. It was not open for the respondent department to ignore the order passed by A merely on the ground that it has decided to appeal against the order. It would be debilitating to rule of law department were permitted to withhold the implementation of order passed by the authority in this matter. Therefore, the department were directed to comply with the order passed by A. Clear? Once appellate, even if you prefer appeal, if you don't do this, there would be a debilitating effect to the law. Vehicle was detained, matter goes to High Court, and Meth Enterprise. The respondent says that we will take up the matter and amicably settle. So matter was disposed of on the mutual understanding. This is a case of Dharmendra M. Jani versus Union with a constitutional validity of a place of supply rule. The place of supply rule when it is outside India, there are parameter sets. They said the Dharmendra Jani case says that this is constitutionally valid. This is a very good judgment. Flamingo is a Supreme Court judgment. In that case, there was an issue regarding suppose I am using there is an airport, there is a zone in which tax-free goods are sold. And when it is available on the airport authority, they have to make a payment of GST, whether GST refund is eligible or not. This is the question which was allowed, and this is the question. And the matter was handled at the Supreme Court level. On the ground that at the High Court level, though the judgment was passed, but the departmental view was not heard. The GST departmental view was to be heard, and the matter was taken by the Supreme Court. I am not going into input credit of 16G because I've already covered. This is last judgment. Let me cover this judgment. This is on the basis of intermediary. The petitioner is an Indian branch. So this is regarding intermediary provisions. Yet why? What is the case? Unless Ian Young was where is the place of supply? Whether this is an export of goods, export of service or not, and whether it will be liable for GST or not. As it is not an intermediary and it is an export of goods, hence they were not entitled for CGST. But let me explain the whole case. This case is very good, very lengthy one. But let me. ENY is a branch which was established well before, while the British president, the petitioner had appealed against the impugned order in original passed by the A, being agreed by the rejection of the refund application in respect of export of service of goods. The adjudicator had denied the said application or refund of ITC premise that the petition. 1 minute, can I take a 1 minute break? Can I come 1 minute back and finish it up? Or should I left it here? I think let me break it here. I'll take ENY later on. With this, anyone who wants to ask a question, just WhatsApp me. I'll answer it. My WhatsApp number is. I'm going to continue next week also. Let me go back. To home. Okay, so this is so you can ask me the question on the blog, ⴄnitinpathak.blogspot.com, nitinpathak@gmail.com, or you can WhatsApp me. These are the few slides I'm going to continue for another 2-3 weeks. Anyone wants to ask a question, just WhatsApp me. I'll answer it 100%. Any question, I'm just going through it in the portal. Anyone wants to ask me a question? Can you write down? Should I ask you to unmute yourself? You can unmute themselves and ask a question. You can unmute and ask a question, or I'll just WhatsApp me. I'll answer. Ashish, Darshil, and whosoever it may be. I'll be very pleased to answer this. Just email me and WhatsApp me. With this, I conclude this session, which is going to be. I'll take another this segment. Once you go through these all slides, this slide will be also available on our blog. You will be able to understand whole law perfectly. So this is easier than any of the GST, including income tax. Okay. With this, I'm concluding. I'm Nitin Pathak, Ahmedabad. My blog address, nitinpathak@gmail.com, my WhatsApp. With this, I'm ending the session.